You might have heard the term SAP Dataspiel thrown around lately and wondered if you missed a major product announcement. To clear the air right away, Dataspiel is just slang, or a mistranslation, for SAP Datasphere, which you probably remember by its old name, SAP Data Warehouse Cloud. But getting the name right is the easy part. The real challenge IT leaders are facing right now is navigating the perceived rivalry between SAP Datasphere and SAP Business Data Cloud. Treating these two as competing options is a false dichotomy. You aren't picking one over the other. Think of SAP Datasphere as your foundational data management engine. It handles federation, connectivity, and the heavy lifting of organizing your tables. SAP Business Data Cloud is the fully assembled enterprise vehicle built entirely around that engine. It takes Datasphere and wraps it in advanced AI workloads, analytics, and master data governance. The stakes of misunderstanding this architecture are high. If you buy the entire vehicle when you only have the resources or need for an engine, you create massive technical debt. Conversely, buying just the engine leaves you scrambling if leadership expects native enterprise AI out of the box. The choice we need to make today isn't about which software is superior. It's about taking a hard look at your organizational maturity and buying the exact scope of the SAP ecosystem that your team can actually operate. Let's shift our focus exclusively to SAP Datasphere to see what it delivers as a standalone product. The target audience here is strictly technical: data engineers, data architects, and BI developers who need a robust place to work. This diagram shows SAP Datasphere's base architecture. The bottom source layer pulls data from S/4HANA, AWS, and Google Cloud into a centralized hub. Inside, we have spaces, isolated, secure virtual environments where specific teams provision their own computing power without interference. But just gathering data isn't enough. You need to assign meaning to it. That brings us to the semantic layer. Here, raw data tables flow upward, transforming into organized models that hold true business context, like financial measures and hierarchies. Here is the catch. Datasphere is exceptional at preparing and exposing this trusted data, but it stops there. It lacks native end-user visualization or embedded AI orchestration. Choosing only Datasphere gives you high flexibility and a lower upfront cost, but the trade-off is high manual effort. If you want a dashboard or an AI agent, you have to build or integrate it yourself. To sum it up, Datasphere perfectly solves back-end data fragmentation. It just leaves the heavy lifting of actual business application and AI development firmly on the shoulders of your internal IT team. When the requirement shifts from simple data modeling to orchestrating business outcomes, the scope of the architecture expands. This is the transition from a standalone engine to the full SAP Business Data Cloud. This ecosystem targets a different audience. It's built for business leaders, planners, and AI engineers who require turnkey outcomes rather than a sandbox for custom development. The first major addition you get with this upgrade is enterprise-wide governance. This stack shows the expanded architecture. Above the source and Datasphere tiers, the knowledge core snaps in on top, featuring SAP Master Data Governance. MDG deduplicates incoming information, creating reliable golden records to ensure your enterprise operates on one version of truth. Also in this knowledge core is SAP BDC Connect, introducing zero-copy federation. This lets you run advanced machine learning on external platforms like Databricks and Snowflake by sharing governed data remotely. You leverage external compute power without ever duplicating your storage blocks. Which brings us to the final top layer of the Business Data Cloud, consumption and AI. BDC natively embeds SAP Analytics Cloud for unified reporting and predictive planning. Crucially, the top tier activates Joule AI agents. Using governed data, these autonomous agents tap directly into the knowledge core to execute complex business workflows on their own. But this level of integration has a cost. Upgrading to BDC requires a massive leap in licensing fees and implementation effort. It forces your organization into strict adherence to centralized enterprise governance policies. By layering governance and analytics directly onto the engine, BDC enables data to trigger autonomous workflows and live planning cycles that manual systems can't match. Now that we see the exact difference between the engine and the full vehicle, we need to choose the system that aligns with your organizational reality. The foundational question you need to ask your team is this: What is our primary technical goal for the next 12 months? This decision tree maps the two main paths. If your primary goal over the next year is simply fixing data silos and connecting S/4HANA to external databases, you take the left path. This scenario fits organizations that already employ strong BI developers and data engineers who just need a unified semantic layer to build upon, rather than pre-packaged applications. If that describes your situation, stop your investment at SAP Datasphere. On the other hand, look at the right path. This is for organizations where the C-suite is actively demanding native enterprise analytics and autonomous AI workflows right now. There is a strict prerequisite here. Your leadership must be completely willing to adopt and enforce centralized SAP master data governance to ensure those AI models are fed accurate information. If you meet that requirement and need those turnkey applications, you should commit to the full SAP Business Data Cloud ecosystem. Buying software that outpaces your team's capability to implement governance is just as dangerous as underinvesting in your AI infrastructure. Optimize your investment by being honest about what you are ready to manage. You don't need to buy the whole vehicle if you just need a powerful engine to support your existing custom-built chassis.